Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Brendan and welcome back to the channel. If you guys are new here, it is great to have you. And today I want to show you guys a consistently good trading strategy for when Bitcoin's in a parabolic market cycle, much like the one that we're in right now. In fact, we've been using this since Bitcoin broke out of its previous all-time high of $20,000 and we're still using it today. It's very simple, and I want to break this down in the easiest terms of possible. So if that sounds interesting at all, make sure you guys stick around for the entire length of the video, as there will be important information discussed the entire way through. But that being said, let's go ahead and dive on into this guy. So if you guys have been following my channel at all, you guys have probably heard me mention the 50 EMA and the 200 EMA. Now, these are two beautiful moving averages, with the 50 EMA being this yellow one and then the 200 being this pinkish purple one that we have below it. Now, to put this in very simple terms, these have acted in support because we've been in this uptrend and really trading in this bull market. So whenever Bitcoin pulls back to anywhere, it has typically pulled back to one of these EMAs and then bottomed out there. So most recently, guys, today was no exception for this rule. Bitcoin pulled back all the way from about $42,000 all the way down to 38, and we bounced off of the 50 EMA on this 1 hour time scale. Now, we've actually done this a couple of times over the past couple of days. Whenever Bitcoin has had a consistently large sell-off, it has been pulling back to this 50 EMA, only to have a very heavy bounce and then eventually form a new all-time high afterwards. So the more we zoom out, the more we can see that Bitcoin has been bouncing off of this area just time and time again. So again, first time, second time, third time, all times in these areas. And when the 50 EMA breaks, the 200 EMA over here is the guy holding. Now, we do have a little bit of a piercing candle action, but all of these candle body closings are above the 200 EMA, and in this case, we are wick bouncing right off of the 50 EMA. So the more we zoom in here and the more we go ahead and go over here, we can see that 50 EMA holds, 50 EMA holds, it consistently holds. And so, in fact, really ever since that we've broken above this 50 EMA, it has been such a strong support. And we're already going back down into the levels of like the lower levels of the 20,000, and we can see that the 50 EMA for the most part held in here, and then this is where we get back to the previous all-time high of when this consistency really started. Now, even again, once the 50 EMA broke over in here, the 200 EMA held. So we broke through this. Where do we bounce off of? The next EMA, which is the 200. Now, I don't really plot any other kind of EMAs besides these two. I think that these are the two strongest, and they pretty simply describe what Bitcoin's doing, where it might bounce, and projecting the future of it. And so long as Bitcoin is having candle body closings above the 200 EMA on this 1 hour time scale, I don't really see it as in that much trouble. In fact, this is such a telling factor to me when I was looking through this today, just how consistent that this has been over the past several months now. Really, even going back before we were at 20K, whenever this reversal happened, this death cross to a golden cross on this 1 hour time scale, and when we initially started using this as support in the mid part of December of 2020, it's just been a beautiful display of bullishness since then. So whenever this started around $19,000, guys, this has been one of the most consistently reliable and strong strategies for Bitcoin since then. In fact, it would have been extremely hard, in my opinion, to lose a trade if you were buying at either the 50 EMA or the 200 EMA, because it really hasn't broken either of those with the exception of one piercing candle here. Yeah. But for the most part, again, guys, nothing I say is legal, financial, or tax advice in any way. This is something that I feel like more people need to be talking about, and less about all these crazy $1 billion Bitcoin predictions, because some billionaire that made his money in a completely different industry is talking about it. But I think that this is way more applicable. It's way more consistent and reliable, and we have seen that the proven methods and the statistics of Bitcoin bouncing off of one of these two areas is much more favorable than it not. So until Bitcoin starts breaking down below these moving averages, again, other moving averages that I look at are the same ones on the 4 hour and the 1 day time scale. Until Bitcoin starts breaking some of these guys, I don't have a huge reason to be bullish. In fact, it hasn't even shown signs of it breaking these yet, because again, we just tested this a couple of hours ago and Bitcoin bounced very, very heavily off this. And in fact, if we want to measure this, Bitcoin fell from that 42,000 down to this 38,000. It was about an 8% drop. And so since that 8% drop, Bitcoin has already recovered about 5, almost 6% on the way back up there. So again, with Bitcoin playing the way that it is right now, still looking very strong until these break. I don't really have anything too bearish to say about Bitcoin. Again, it is getting a little bit parabolic on this 1-day time scale. It looks entirely different from the 1 hour, but we can see the consistency happening on this 1 hour chart from stuff that we're not able to see on the 1-day chart. So sometimes it is very, very necessary to break this down and understand the methodical logic behind Bitcoin and how it is having a method to its parabolic run up that we might not be able to see to the naked eye of a larger time scale like the 1 day. So again, hopefully you guys found this pretty informational and helpful. Again, I wanted to keep this very simple. I wanted to keep it very basic. I don't want to kind of overload anything with crazy jargon, just a very simple principle of when it hits a colored line, it tends to bounce and it tends to be a good buying opportunity. And it's really nothing more complicated than that. You can say that it's BS, but again, it's been very, very consistent. So do with it what you will. Again, nothing I say is legal, financial, or tax advice in any way. All that I ask is that if you guys did enjoy the video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you guys want more content like this one, and comment something down in the comment section down below. Do you guys use these moving averages? Maybe not, maybe you do. Let me know in the comment section down below, and until then, guys, I will see you all in the next video.